Hello everyone, my name is Cassidy LaCroix. I am on the online portion of Agro 100 and I'm just going to go over my project I have completed for the course for our revised digital documentary. I chose the Which Landscape Management Practice Will Help with Water Use and Conservation. The reason this is a problem within agriculture and or landscape management is because most of our irrigation practices are used by the Ogallala Aquifer, which that is depleting rather quickly because of all the management and or not lack of management, I should say, and dryness across the Midwest. Four options I have used to solve this issue within landscape management. I chose improving irrigation systems, irrigation schedule improvement, avoiding runoff, and reducing planted area. So if we just go ahead and dive in here, improving irrigation systems is our first topic we're going to tackle today. So on my scale, the irrigation systems, the improvement of them scored a 2.15 on my scale. Again, the decision factors we took into consideration was cost efficiency, maintenance, water use, and overall efficiency. So first and foremost, we're going to look at cost efficiency for improving irrigation systems. It ranked a 0.4 on my scale because upgrading water systems, they are very costly. There's the sprinkler systems involved, auto systems that adjust at certain times, which can be a little more costly than other practices. Next, we have maintenance. So maintenance rated a 0.6 on my scale. So the upgrading systems can not only be costly, but they keep up and monitor systems. They will have to be checked 3 to 5 times per day. Just to state for the fact that at any time these systems can have any adjustments done to them or may need adjusted in regards to irrigation practices. Next, we have water use, which ranked a 0.75 on my scale. So again, if we were to improve the water irrigation systems, the water used would be better directed towards landscape and would help decrease overall water usage. Yes, this is good in the fact of saving and conserving the water, but again, this wasn't the highest ranked on my list of factors to improve. Next, we have the overall efficiency, which ranked a 0.4 on my scale. So improving irrigation systems is very costly, and if anything in the system were to go haywire, it again could result in overwatering, which could submit to not only using good water management or conservation practices. Next, we have irrigation schedule improvement, which rated second highest on my scale. So the irrigation schedule improvement, again, decision factors were the same as before, which they will continue to be the same throughout my whole project. Let's take a look at cost efficiency. It rated a 0.6 on my scale. So with an irrigation system already set up, if we were to manage the schedule of the system, again, it's ultimately free, or it was very low cost. Next, we have maintenance. Maintenance ranked a 0.75 on my scale. So keeping up with the irrigation schedule comes easy with setting a certain time for the irrigation system to run. So maintenance really detains checking 2 to 3 times per day. You can extra check it just in case, but again, that's pretty self-sufficient once you have a schedule set in place. Next, we have water use, which ranked a 0.9 on my scale. So controlling the water use in this solution was easy with having a set time for each of the irrigation systems to run. It controlled the water being used and how much in each area, thus resulting a better water conservation management skill. So the overall efficiency of this tactic ranked a 0.6. So it comes easy only because you need to check on the time system 2 to 3 times per day, and the water usage is more controlled throughout the day as to compared the irrigation systems. So a little more efficient. Next, we have avoiding runoff, which was again second to last. It tied with the first topic we talked about today. Again, same decision factors as used in the first two topics. The cost efficiency was ranked at a 0.3, so they avoided the runoff. It can be tricky being cost efficient only because whether it includes different landscape practices or controlling where it goes, you may have to have excessive landscape skills for this tactic to be efficient in the cost topic. Next, the maintenance. Again, maintenance can only be, multiple 5 to 7 times per day just to make sure the landscape management practice is efficient enough to run the runoff elsewhere or to different parts of the crop or landscape just to provide for this practice. So checking on it to make sure the runoff is going different areas. It can get kind of maintenance-wise very busy, but the water use ranked a 1.05, so it would be most effective only because the runoff would be placed in various spots to accompany for the loss of water in that area. So it would be the most effective practice in the water use area because, again, you're depleting overage of water in other areas to a loss of water in other areas. So very water use efficient. But overall, again, ranked on a 0.5 on my scale for efficiency. It would help if it was managed in the correct way, just to supply for the extra water being used. But again, it's being a better water use efficiency. So that is that. Next, we have the highest ranking method on my scale, which is reducing the planted area, which scored a 3.10. Thus being the best management practice to succumb for my overall problem. Same four decision factors used in the other practices. So the cost efficiency of this management practice would reduce the planted area just to be, it can be a huge cost factor because you would have to minimize your turf grass use and supply for other, the rock mulch or other landscape uses. Those can add up, but again, if you're looking at water management and water conservation practices, irrigation practices, this is the most efficient way to look at those. So let's jump into maintenance. Maintenance ranked a 0.9, which reduced the planting area, can be more of a one-day project for maintenance, thus resulting in a little upkeep and having a strong effect, which maintenance would only supply for 1 check a week on landscape management design. So the water use in this, if you were to reduce the planted area, again, the water use had a 1.2 on my scale, thus being pretty effective. You wouldn't have to worry about irrigated landscapes as much, and water conservation would be, way more in place in this tactic than the other tactics we talked about. But the overall efficiency of this ranked a 0.7. So overall, conservation of water is highly impacted, would be subject to irrigation practices being limited, if at all, having any sort of landscape upkeep. So this is my overall problem in landscape management practices. Again, with water conservation, you see it everywhere. But again, reducing the planted area was the best out of all 4 of these management practices because we can all agree on reducing planted area reduces the turf grass as to compared irrigation schedule management, improving irrigation systems, and avoiding runoff because, again, you're reducing that planted area. So less planted area, less irrigation, thus resulting in the best water use conservation management tactic that I had in my project. Ranking the highest, so highest to lowest was reducing the planted area to irrigation schedule improvement, avoiding runoff, and improving irrigation systems. Again, this has been the best one overall, and that is what my project has entailed. Thank you guys again for the great semester, and yeah, thank you.